Hi comic book fans, welcome to another suddenlycomics.com video, and today I'm going to show you some more of the comics that I got from the Amazing Spider-Man auction about a week ago, but I'm going to not do them in sequential order. So I showed the first, I think the issues I'd got, sort of issue 5 to issue 18 in the previous video. Go and watch it, but I thought I was going to show the rest of them, the comics that I picked up, Amazing Spider-Man's between 1 and 100, in a theme. Okay, so the theme today is Peter Parker's women on the cover. Okay, because there are not many of the first 100 Amazing Spider-Mans with women on the cover. Aha! In fact, in the first 50 issues, I could only find 2 which had a woman on the cover. The first I haven't got. If you're going to watch the auction, I did not get Amazing Spider-Man #1, which of course has Sue Storm on the cover. Okay, so she is appearance #1. Right. Would you like to guess who appearance #2 is and which issue we have to wait for before we get a second female on the cover? It's quite a long wait. It's issue 32. And who is it who's on the cover? It's Aunt May, and this is Aunt May's first ever cover appearance. Here we go. Nice copy of this. It's a Pence copy, Man on a Rampage, and here we have Aunt May in a hospital bed. How much is this? And these ones with women on them actually all quite cheap. Okay, so this one cost me $60. It's about a 3.5, maybe a bit better than that. It's worth about $100. $100 for the first cover appearance of Aunt May and the first female on the cover of an Amazing Spider-Man since Amazing Spider-Man 1. Okay, also it's a Pence variant, so I'm going to tell you how rare the Pence variants are. So there are 1,230 on the US price variants, and there are just 13 UK price variants on the census. So we're back to our good old ratio of 1 UK price variant for every 100 US variants. Okay, great little comic. I think quite a cheap pickup of a key issue. Right, so that is it. Issue 1 and issue 32 are the only appearances of women on the cover of Amazing Spider-Man. Okay, we get quite a lot more appearances in the second 50. In fact, 54, we get another woman on the cover. Well, it's the same woman. Because 54 it's also Aunt May. There we go. And again, she's unconscious. So Aunt May's first 2 cover appearances, she's unconscious. And there we see Doc Ock doing battle with Spidey. This is issue number 54. Right, you will notice this is a Pence copy. Now you'll say, Mark, you're going to go out and find a Pence copy. I'm not, because there are actually I think 26 issues of the Amazing Spider-Man between issue 1 and 100 which did not have Pence copies. Okay, the first was between issue 18 and 27, did not have Pence copies, and 33 and 53 to 70 did not have Pence copies. So there are 0 Pence copies for this one because they didn't print any. Okay, very unfortunate. Okay, next up, it's number 59, and you Spider-Man fans out there are going to know this one. So this is the 4th appearance of a woman, and we're at issue 59. And if you're going to have an appearance, this is the way to do it. Those Aunt May appearances aren't really that stunning, are they? No. Okay, this one is a lot better. This is Amazing Spider-Man 59, and we have got, this is a great cover. This split here where we've got Mary Jane on the stage doing her thing, strutting her stuff with a little skirt on, while Spidey's in the background dealing with the baddies. Great comic. I love this one. I think this is undervalued. I think this copy is a 5.5, maybe even a 6. I'm going to get this pressed. I'm probably going to get it slabbed. I paid $100 for this. I think this is worth 170 if it's a 5.0. But you know, for a beauty key comic like this, I think this is a great buy and a great investment. Right, so these are like buses. You get none for ages and then suddenly you get 3 in a row. Okay, so issue 61, what do we get? We get the first cover appearance of Gwen Stacy. It's not a fantastic first appearance. She's down here. I think that's Captain Stacy there. And there's a large vat of boiling oil just about to fall on top of her. But that is the first appearance of Gwen Stacy. This copy is in grubby condition. This is probably one of the worst condition ones I got. It's a 2.0. Again, it's in the bit where there wasn't any pence copies. I paid $30 for this. I think it's probably worth $30 to $50. There we go. And then the very next issue we get, now this competes with me, this competes with the Mary Jane first cover appearance. It is Medusa appearing on issue 62. This is a fantastic cover. Look at this. And this is not an expensive comic. I think this one, my one, it's a 3.5. It's got a crease down it, unfortunately. So I think we're restricted to a 3.0, 3.5. And I reckon, and also of course it's in the range where we didn't have pence copies, unfortunately. Having said all that, I think this, you can get this in this sort of condition in a 3.0, 3.5 for about $80 to $85. I think that is a bit of a steal for such a fantastic cover. That's got to be up there amongst, you know, in your 100 best covers list, hasn't it? Okay, next up, then we have to wait a bit. We got 3 buses all arrived at the same time, and then nothing arrives for ages. So the next appearance, do you know who it is? Yeah, if so, tell me if you guess right. Because if you do, you obviously know your Amazing Spider-Man. It surprisingly is the Black Widow. Yeah, Black Widow gets a new costume. This is Amazing Spider-Man 86, and I'm delighted to say we've got the shilling back. Well, actually it's shilling for the first time because we had D's, now we've got shillings. Price has gone up a bit. So this one, I reckon it's in a 3.540. I paid $40 to $50 for it. It's probably worth about 70, 75. But a nice cover there. I hear you asking the question, how many UK price variants are there of this on the census? Well, there's 1,033 US price variants, and wait for it, 4 UK price variants. Yep. So for every 250 US price variants, there's 1 UK price variant. Quick, put it away in a safe. It is hugely rare. I suspect on these later ones where these ratios get like this, is, you know, this is not an expensive book. The cost of getting it graded, you know, would you get a comic graded that's worth $50 to $80? Costs you $30 to grade it. In the UK it costs a bit more than that because you've got the postage. So people probably just haven't bothered getting this graded, and probably more of them in the UK. So that's why it's 1 in 250. I think the actual ratio is about between 1 in 50 and 1 in 100. Okay, so there we go. Next up, we get a few coming along at the same time now. This is 87. These are all relatively cheap books here now. You know, these are all sort of $50 books. This one, again, unfortunately, it's not in bad condition. Is a pence copy. And on the cover here, of course, we have got Gwen, Mary Jane and Gwen on the cover. Unmasked at Last. It's a pretty good cover, and I think this is a good spec buy. This is not an expensive comic in a medium grade for a sub 100 Amazing Spider-Man. Right, next up, it's a bit of a cheat. It's number 91, To Smash the Spider. And why am I putting this one up? Well, because we've actually got Aunt May. We can only see their backs, but I'm assuming this is Aunt May, Gwen Stacy, and Mary Jane. Okay, there you go. That's who I think they are. So they're on the cover, and that counts, and that is number 91. Again, I paid 30 for it. It's probably worth about 50. Okay, not finally, we have another one. This is a nice one, number 92. This is in quite nice condition. And of course we've got Gwen here being rescued as per usual by Mr. Parker. So yeah, and again, I paid $30 for this in a 3. I think it's worth a bit more than the other because it's in quite nice grade. Pressed, that could be a 7. So it's probably worth $70 or $80. And the last one, this is the last, so I think there are 11 comics with female characters on the cover in the first 100 issues. This is the last one, and it's the repeat offender. She's been on more covers in the first 100 than any other of Peter Parker's females. And who is it? It is, of course, Aunt May. Who I think appears twice on this cover. She's here, and she's here, okay? This is issue number 94. It's a Pence copy. Again, I paid $30 for this. We got a repeat of the origin story. This is a nice comic. I think this is better than the 3.5. So again, in a 3.5, it's probably worth $40, $50. I think this is probably a 6 or 7. So it's probably worth $70 or $80. A lovely pickup, and we, of course, we're fighting the Beetle. And I hear you ask, so what are we at in terms of UK price variance? So on the census, there are 842 of these in the US price variant, and how many in a UK price variant? 2. 2. So for every 420 US price variants, there's 1 UK price variant. Okay. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this little run through of my pickups from the auction on Amazing Spider-Man 1 to 100, and I thought I'd do it. I thought it'd do it themed. So my theme was Peter Parker's women. Okay. Now my next theme, I'm probably going to do Kingpin, or I'm going to do Scorpion, or I'm going to do Lizard. If you've got a preference, put it in the comments below, and I'll listen to what you have to say. That's your lot. Enough said.